have got a seat at IHM Pusa. So what is next? How to enter the hostel?
Okay, so it is very important.
What is the fees?
The fees as of now,
Grounding से आपको लगता है बच्चे डरते हैं? कुछ होता है ऐसा?
we have seen a lot of change in them.
Is something called a Outpass.
Yes.
So what is that?
Again, that is a document where you are stating us the reason.
पर अगर अभी हमने एक स्टूडेंट के लेवल पे जाना है तो why hostel?
It makes you a team player.
What about the doctor, or the medical facility? What is it that?
We do have a senior doctor enrolled with our institute.
Greetings everyone from IHM Pusa, and I'm your host Mamta Bish for yet another interesting episode of Pusa Podcast. और आज का एपिसोड क्यों स्पेशल है? क्योंकि हम ऐसे कॉन्वर्सेशन में जा रहे हैं जो थोड़ा सा रिस्की हो सकता है for the faculty, of course, because we are going to talk about a life which is slightly different from the institute's life, and yet it is a part of institute. Confused? Well, don't get so confused, because we are going to talk about hostels. Hostels at IHM Pusa and how to get there. And in conversation, we are going with Mrs. Sakshi Sharma, who is the Hostel Warden for Girls Hostel. However, ma'am will also be sharing her inputs on, the boys hostel part as well, right? So stay tuned for this interesting episode. And let's directly get into the conversation with Mrs. Sakshi Sharma. Sakshi ma'am, welcome to the episode.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for the warm greetings that you have given and such an interesting start to the session.
The session may start on an interesting note, लेकिन उससे भी interesting कोई चीज़ है जो मैं आपको मैम के बारे में बताना चाहती हूँ. As a warden, you need to have two personas, which I think ma'am has been handling very well. That is, I would call her Miss Sunshine, because, I think that is what with which I call you often, because I think she has that energy and the smile which can, in fact, eliminate the whole universe around you. And yet she's into a role which is not that easy, especially when you're the warden.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, you are a warden from last almost 4 years now, 4 terms.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how do you feel as a warden, and how it is different from being a faculty?
It is completely a different zone, ma'am. Being a faculty, you are on to, you are your subject. You are like just dealing with the class and making them handle the things which are happening in the class. When you come to the hostel in the evening, it's total different scenario. It's like a family for you. So they are looking up to you as a family. They're coming to us with their small problems. They're new to the city. So whom to vouch upon with the correct information, then comes the role of the warden. So it's a complete switch over from faculty to the warden, which we have seen over the years, and also with the students who are actually taking the onus, the responsibility of being the responsible individuals here. We find it really, you can say, interesting when we go into that particular zone. So it's kind of a family, kind of an association with them, discipline, yet with fun. This is what hostel is all about, ma'am.
In fact, when you have this new batch, and if you really want to look for the warden, the easiest way is, जहाँ बच्चों को खूब सारा झुंड होगा, you are sure that the warden will be, somewhere in the center. So that is how I think the journey starts.
Yes, ma'am. Because initial stage, they are totally on to us. Yes. Which market to go, what to get, what are the timings, what will happen in case of emergency. Parents have n number of doubts because their wards are moving out from the comfort zone, from the pampered zone, and those pampered kids have to be turned into responsible adults. So it is what I would say, it is not just us as the warden, but everybody who is there in the institute is kind of giving their kind of help, looking after them, whatever is required, so that we can give the best possible things at our IHM Pusa hostel to the students who are coming from so far.
So you put it very beautifully, and I think let's go to the formal part of the hostel
Yes,
because I
ma'am.
think first getting the entry into the hostel is
Yes,
important.
yes.
Right. So we will start with the process of
Okay.
getting a seat in the hostel.
Mhm.
So how is the process? If somebody has cleared, let's say you have got a seat at IHM Pusa. So what is next? How to enter the hostel?
Okay, so it is very important that one of the stage of counseling you have to take care of that you are ticking on the option of the hostel. If you want to take the hostel, then you have to click on the yes button because that is one stage that you are kind of registering for the hostel. So don't miss that. You
Okay,
want
that is
hostel?
important.
Yes. And the hostel can be given to, students who are coming from far off and also to the students who are putting up in Delhi NCR.
So it's on the merit basis?
Yes, it is on the merit basis. The rules are given by the NCHMCT. For the rules, you should refer to the website. So the rules keep on upgrading, but the general trend has been on the basis of the merit, on the basis of the rank. You have to just click on yes button and on the basis of the merit and the various guidelines of NCHMCT, your name will be coming in the
Right.
hostel. So that is one mandatory step that you have to, take care of for taking the
So
hostel.
that means that is really important that you show your intent that you need
Yes.
the hostel, and during the process itself, because we have often seen parents complaining that my ward has the rank and still why his name is not there for the hostel application. So it is very, very important that you first click a yes, as ma'am
Yes.
mentioned, so that you show your willingness that you are keen to have a hostel seat.
Yes.
Right. So that is the first step.
That is the first step.
Okay. Then what is the next step?
And then that the list of NCHMCT is shared with us. We place
Okay.
it on our institute website and we begin with our process. So on the website, you are given certain guidelines which are going to vary from one institute to the other. The fees is going to vary. The documents might vary. So you have to refer to our institute website for the fee structure, for the required documents, and for the required conditions. So if you want hostel in IHM Pusa or any other institute, refer to the institute website. All the latest details you need to refer to.
So that
Come
means
prepared.
the overall, scenario is being set up by National Council. However, college on its own might have different rules. So you need to pay attention to those guidelines which are there.
Yes.
Now, ma'am, let's move to the second point because I think that is very relevant. At times when National Council takes out its list and a student, is showing the intent to get a hostel, at times there is a gap of 2 to 3 days, and usually we have seen parents, they would be here with all the mattresses and big suitcases, and they expect the moment you are doing physical reporting that you will get the hostel. However, it may be a little different. So could you please just share about that?
Earlier we have seen that there used to be gap of if Saturday, Sunday comes in between.
Right.
But this time it was on the off day that the hostel allotment was done. So NCHM did not make the parents wait in this particular case. So as the things come up with the NCHM, we are on our toes to provide our utmost support to the parents. We know they're coming from far off. They're staying here for 5 days. So if the days are being kept, we are here to give our good support to the parents.
Because this is where actually the relationship starts
Yes.
with the institute and the hostel. So probably it would depend on the schedule. So
Yes.
there is a possibility that you might have to wait for a day or
Day,
2 or 3, probably depending on the calendar, that a student is actually let inside the hostel.
Yes.
So it is better before you reach the institute or Delhi,
Yes.
let's be specific, just check with the institute that on which day you can actually, get the allotment done and enter the hostel premises.
And that might vary
clarity
with the
would be.
institute also.
Okay.
So they should be, keeping some extra days with them
Okay.
and coming because we are ready to support them. We are here to help them out. They also have to be, showing that helping attitude towards us. We are
Right.
for them.
So in the beginning, this could be a little tricky situation. So
Yes.
just keep that in mind and be informed about it before you reach the institute.
Yes.
That day of reporting and probably day of getting the hostel,
the hostel.
could be different.
Could be
and
different.
the day you get the allotment done, only then the institute will allow you to enter the hostel,
Yes, once the
right?
admission is done, only then we can permit the warden the hostel.
But why it is there? Why
Um,
so? Is
because
there anything which they need to do before they
yes,
enter the
there is
hostel?
a lot of documents, which need to be done. Documentation has to be done. These are certain formalities, but essential formalities which are
Like,
existing. Like you have the hostel form, and you have the medical fitness certificate. You have to tell your details about the past and the present medical health. That is your illnesses, if it is existing, and then most essential, the existence of the ward along with the parent, along with the local guardian is an integral
okay.
part of our admission, hostel admission. It is mandatory, so parents should come up with such, decisions with them, who is going to be the local guardian for their ward, so that their process of getting the hostel is not delayed. So be ready with all the documents which are shared on the website, along with the affidavits which are required, the dining hall rules that we have, the hostel rules which are there. All these things are just for maintaining the safety, the security of the ward only. So if you are doing all these steps, you are going to have a smooth flow in our hostel also. So that is very important.
So, ma'am, you gave a very good overview. Now, I'll be touching few points,
Right, ma'am.
one by one, so that it is more clear.
Mhm.
So, let us start. Before we actually go into that, what is the fees?
The fees as of now, for your triple sharing rooms, it is 90,000.
That is for the whole year.
That is for the whole year.
Okay.
And this includes various things like your accommodation,
Right.
your food facility, your electricity, water, laundry facility, and then it has some caution money into it, which is refundable.
Okay.
So that when you are leaving the hostel, you can get your caution money back. And if you talk about this area has, very high prices of getting accommodation. So you are getting accommodation in such a privileged area, which is next to very famous markets nearby at a very low rate. That too, you are getting food on top of it. You are getting your laundry facility. So what does a student want? 9 to 5:30, you are having classes. Then you are all dead tired. Do you have time to wash your clothes? So our institute is providing you so many facilities in that terms that you should all vouch for the hostel, I must say. And once you are on your own, then you are ready to explore the city. So we say in this area, if you get the hostel in our campus, you are the most privileged one.
Right. So that means the amount you said, which is 90,000,
Is for triple sharing.
for triple sharing. And is it the one-time payment? Like,
This is the one-time payment that you
One-time
have to do. And for the
any
single
provision
sharing,
of, having it split, something like that?
We do look into the considerations, but that is taken only at the end. At the initial, it is the one-time payment.
It is one time, and probably
Yes.
you need to get in touch with the office
Management, yes. We have
management
to
or
take
the
permission of the
administration.
management. They're considerate enough, but only the pure cases, you can say, we have to do.
Otherwise, like, we will take it as one-time payment.
One-time payment.
And इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आपको मम्मी की याद ही नहीं आएगी, आपको खाना मिल रहा है,
Yes.
आपके कपड़े धुले पे मिल रहे हैं,
Yes.
you have a room. हाँ, आप AC मिस कर सकते हैं वैसे,
Oh,
but otherwise,
yes, yes.
I think the only thing you are left to do is probably to attend the classes.
Yes, you just have to attend the
Right.
class. You don't have to travel. Outside, you have battery rickshaws. They are having such high rates these days. If you are a hostler, you are saving a lot on your transportation.
Hmm.
You don't have to, even the metro is getting hush hush all these days. So you just have to walk, come, attend class, and I tell you, hostlers have very good percentage of the attendance. So hostel gives an aid into your attendance also.
वो
What do you
सीक्रेट
want?
है कि फैकल्टी एंड एट टाइम्स हॉस्टल वार्डन जाके चेक करते हैं कि आप रूम में सो तो नहीं रहे हो, एंड दैट इज व्हाई
Yes, we even
सो
have to
पेरेंट्स
ensure
बी हैप्पी. आई थिंक दैट्स अ गुड थिंग व्हिच वी आर डूइंग.
Yes.
सो अटेंडेंस का हमारा मैम पहले भी बात हो चुकी है व्हेन मीनाक्षी मैम वाज देयर ऑन द podcast, that 75% minimum attendance you're supposed to
Yes.
maintain. And with the hostelers, I think because random checks are also there,
Yes, ma'am.
and monitoring is being done by the warden,
Hmm.
so it really helps in ensuring that.
Yes, ma'am. And there is a term like grounding. So
Okay,
if
what
your
is that?
so if you're like your attendance falls,
Yeah.
then we ground you, like we don't give you the permission to move out of the premises. First, maintain your attendance.
Okay.
Then you are permitted to move out for your enjoyment. So even that grounding, a kind of, you can say, to maintain the you can say code of conduct of the hostel premises. Anything you do, a positive grounding has to be
Now
done.
I'm thinking what to ask because there are two important things which has happened. One is the issue of local guardian, and
Hmm.
one is grounding. So we'll go one by one.
Hmm.
So let us address the local guardian first.
Right.
Okay, local guardian पे इतना emphasis क्यों है?
Um,
What is a local guardian? Like who could be a local guardian?
guardian is basically any of your family friend. It can be your relative who is residing in Delhi NCR.
Okay.
And what is the importance basically, since the parents are not accessible to us, they're putting up in another town, they're not available to us. So, this local guardian, who is your family friend, who is your family relative, this person is who on whom we are going to vouch upon to take the responsibility of the ward in case of the emergencies. Emergencies like medical emergencies, emergencies like we have seen the phase of COVID where there was complete shutdown.
Right.
Where to send the ward? So there where the role of the local guardian comes. You are boarding your train which is pretty late. So we ask the student to go to their local guardian place, or the local guardian can come, pick and drop the ward at the railway station or at the airport. So there this local guardian plays a very important role in case of, handling these kinds of situations, which is basically for the safety of the student.
Ma'am, it's a important, I would say component of getting a hostel, which we had mentioned earlier also. So when you're getting your hostel formalities done, I think it is mandatory to have the local guardian present
Yes, it
along
is.
with parents.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
It has to be student, parent, and local guardian. And we are putting up all these details with us in a handy form so that those are available to us in a handy form
Right.
again. So we need to meet that person. We need to, kind of make a mind map of the parents whom we have seen, the local guardian that we have seen, so that, nobody is kind of playing with us when we are
Yes.
talking over with the parents. So it is the trust that the parents have on us when they're putting their wards in our hostel.
मैम पर अगर कोई किसी को जानता ही नहीं, अब मैं दिल्ली आई हूँ और लोकल गार्जियन कहाँ से आए?
Look out for some family relative because that is mandatory.
मैम वो भी नहीं है तो
Then you should, you have to have a local guardian because this is going
But
to
isn't
ease
it
your
wrong
process.
that, I have my name in the merit list, I'm ready to pay the fees, and I'm new in the city, so ideally I should get the hostel because I really need that help, but I don't have a local guardian.
When you start looking out for a local guardian, I'm sure you will find one because it is mandatory.
Okay. You seem to be pretty strict on local guardian.
On that, we have to because it helps us, it helps the student, and it also gives, a support or trust to the parents. Parents take time to reach. Local guardian is there, and we have been we can say, lucky enough that local guardians this time have been a real support to us. Wherever there has been an emergency, they have been for us, and this is what is trust building amongst us and them.
And I have also seen you wardens, I would include both the wardens there, rejecting many people that you are not eligible to become a local guardian.
Yes.
अब इसमें क्या angle है ma'am?
The angle is of that the local guardian has to be of Delhi NCR.
Right.
The local guardian has to be like 25 years of age so that you are able to take the responsibility of the student. If you are not yourself responsible, how can we let the student go with you? So it has to be this particular 25 years of age. You have to be resident of Delhi NCR. So even if you are working, show us your work contract that you have, that you are residing in Delhi NCR.
तो पूरी छानबीन करने के बाद में then
Yes, ma'am.
probably you say
Yes.
कि okay, the person is eligible for local guardian.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now let us move to the other important thing which I picked up from the conversation was grounding. ये बड़ा interesting है मैम. Grounding से आपको लगता है बच्चे डरते हैं? कुछ होता है ऐसा?
We have seen a lot of change in them, and I tell you, they actually wait when the grounding will get over. So they start showing a very disciplined attitude in that particular span. And most of what I have observed is if we are grounding them, they are even enjoying that grounding phase.
Oh,
because
this
a lot
is new.
of development is also happening.
Like what?
So it's like a positive grounding for them. We are putting them on, say, extra duties. So
Right.
we tell them, you have these options, which duty would you like to take? So they are picking up that duty, say mess duty, cleaning of the tables, that we do even at our home.
Yes.
So you are inculcating all these life skills amongst you. So you are actually saying by these 10 days or say 5 days that I am worth enough to get away from my grounding. So earn your grounding period to get over.
Okay.
That is the thing that we believe should be there, a positive approach.
So grounding is probably you're confining them.
Yes. That too with the consent of the parents.
Okay.
We keep the parents informed, and I tell you, ma'am, parents are actually supporting us in that.
Okay.
And we are very happy on that. So that relationship that the parents are having with the institute, the relationship of trust that they are having with us, that puts us in a stronger position. You know, they are ready to listen to us, they are ready to cooperate with us, and this is how the hostel works.
So if somebody who is not being grounded, uska bhi koi entry exit time hai, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. So
what is that?
Like we start with 7:30.
Okay.
So to make them aware of the nearby areas. And then when they become aware of the nearby areas, so they have their grace period of 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So basically this is to develop, you can say, a discipline, a code of conduct amongst them. They should be morally responsible for themselves. We are treating adults, so they have to show us walk the talk. You own your freedom from us. Stretch it to 7:30 for yourself. Take 20 minutes extra. But at the end, we want our students to be safely back. Because if they're not safely back, believe me, we're not able to sleep in a comfort zone. That thing remains here. My student is not there, continuously on the phone. So we have this particular, thing of putting up the text on the group so that everybody is conscious into the process.
That the person is not
Yes. So it is like responsibility of everyone. It is not only me who has to be responsible or the boys hostel warden who has to be responsible. Even the guard is waiting for the students to return. So we tell them, when we people are on our toes for your safety, all of you have to be on your toes for the safety of your roommate, of your hostel mate, of your batchmate also. So everybody has to be conscious.
It becomes a collective
Collective
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yes. And because we are talking about entry, exit, leaving the hostel, staying in the hostel, so there's another, thing which we talk about is something called a outpass.
Yes.
So what is outpass?
Again, that is a document where you are stating us the reason why you are going on holidays, how many days you are going, what is going to be your expected date of going, expected date of arrival, and then your parents are putting up the signature for that. And that is again a safety measure that we are doing for them. So we keep various, you can say, steps in between to ensure the safety of the student. And again, in that, parents have been really cooperative. Students, initially, they find it, what a task, and but slowly they realize why it is important. And that is the quality, I can say, what our IHM Pusa students have. With time, they become so responsible that they're kind of on their own. And you are just like, keeping a touch on them. And they are all ready to fly on their own by the end this hostel ends. Right. So even the parents, if they are looking out, students are looking out for, say, during IT time, they have to live outside. During IT time, we do not have the hostel for them because shift timings are so, it does not matches with our hostel.
And probably, if you're being trained to, let's say, far off place or probably a different city, it makes all the more sense that you stay close by.
Yes.
That really helps during the industrial training.
Total disciplined, independent, confident. The total attitude of taking care of yourself in them changes. We have seen drastic changes happening into them once they are putting up in the hostel.
Right. So before we actually, move to a different conversation, let's, do the quick checklist. So we have talked about that If you want an entry, you need to put that yes option, which you're getting
Yes.
during counseling.
Yes.
You need to show your intent by putting that and probably meeting the wardens when you're here. If you have got the hostel, everybody gets the hostel?
Amongst boys, it is that we have a constraint for the space.
Okay.
We do have availability of 120 seats for the boys, including both triple seater and single seater.
Right.
For the girls, we have again triple seater and single seaters, which is giving us a count of 84 for the girls.
Okay.
But for the boys, we have constraint. For the girls, we are open to take girls, as our even board of members says, try to accommodate as many girls as you can. So we try our level best to do that accommodation. But yes, we have availability of 84 seats with
So
us.
that means, I would say, for girls, the policy is that almost everybody is accommodated.
Everybody.
And I think
We try to
from
accommodate
past
everybody.
one decade, I think it has been the case
Yes,
like this.
yes.
And let's see,
And if
what's
somebody
the next
misses
batch.
also, to put that yes in the during the counseling stage, they do drop an application to us.
Okay, even that is fine.
Yes, that with the girls we are doing, even with the boys we are doing, in case we have the, seat not occupied.
लेकिन number पीछे चला जाएगा शायद.
That comes at the end.
Okay.
So at the time we are receiving the application, we are putting the number, we are putting the date and
Okay.
time. We are specific on
Okay.
that, so that nobody says.
So for boys hostel, you said there would be a certain challenge in probably taking all the applicants. So there, the hostel is being given to which kind? The first year.
The first year.
The first year.
Yes.
And in the second year and third year, if you want to continue?
If you want to see, in first year you get aware of the area. So the first priority is given to the first year. So all our seats get filled with the first year only.
Right.
So boys, they get acclimatized to the nearby area, and then they look out for the outside accommodation only. Maybe I can say for the freedom's sake, we have a lot of rules in
So
here.
अभी तक आप लोग समझ ही चुके होंगे with outpass, with grounding, with this rule, that rule. Students want to run away from the hostel, especially boys.
But I tell you, it is.
And I think even girls also at times.
But what we have seen, girls are asking to take back the hostel.
Okay.
So we are giving the hostel to the second years. We are giving the hostel to the third years, even to all our diploma course students.
Okay.
We have our diploma courses, so we have candidates from
And
diplomas.
I see MSc also putting
Yes,
up in
and
the hostel.
MSc also, MSc previous, MSc final year. So we have a good mix of courses with us, which comes out to be the strength of the hostel.
Right.
And
so seat allocation part is also clear. So you have now heard the criteria also, like how it is allotted. Fees we have talked about,
Yes.
and single seater would have slightly increased amount of fee.
higher amount. So it is 1,12,500 currently.
Right.
And for the updated fee structure, obviously look during the counseling time. What
Yes.
is the updated structure?
And again, this money is covering your mess charges.
Yes, it is covering your accommodation, your mess charges, your laundry facility, electricity, water,
Okay.
and 5,000 is refundable.
Okay, 5,000 is refundable. तो वो ध्यान
we
रखें.
take care of that.
वो जाते हुए
Take
जो आप तोड़-फोड़ करके जाते हो ना, उसका we have to keep that.
Yes, we have to take
But
that
over the
account of
years,
that.
I think ऐसा शायद जरूरत नहीं पड़ी है,
नहीं.
which I know
Yes,
that we need to hold back the caution money.
So they take it as like, their home.
Okay.
They treat it like their home. So initially they feel, where are we? But slowly they go, and when they come back, we have seen them rejoicing, meeting their friends. So it is a home away from home for them. This room becomes a cherished memory for them. And hostel life is something different, I must say. Something is there into it.
Ma'am, lekin, what happens is when, parents, they are accompanying their ward. And in fact, even the, student who is coming. And over the years, as, I think I would not say standard of living, but I think the preference of living has changed over the years. Every person now is seeking, if you talk about even the young adults or children, I would say, everybody wants, different room, AC bhi chahiye, privacy chahiye, right? You cannot see my mobile, you cannot see my laptop and probably. And suddenly they are put into an environment jahan you're supposed to share your room.
Yes.
Right? and share probably the other facilities, which includes your washrooms,
Yes.
right?
Washrooms are on shared basis.
And there is no AC as of now.
As of now, there is no
But
AC.
I heard something is
Yeah,
coming up.
there is a proposal for that. So we are
So-
keeping our fingers crossed.
So it might happen that in the next session you have this for few seats, I believe.
Yes, it is going to be there for single
Single
theaters,
theatres.
which has been proposed.
But otherwise, there is no air conditioning available.
We do have in the lounge part.
Lounge.
Yeah, we
Bas
do
lounge
have in
mein
the
hai.
lounge.
Some-
We have it in our dining hall also.
Okay. But then again, in dining hall, you have timings.
Yes, we have timings for discipline, you know. For that reason, they are so tired also. They just want to have food. and
Iron
rush
allowed
back.
नहीं है.
Iron allowed नहीं है.
Heater allowed नहीं है.
नहीं allowed है.
Induction allowed नहीं है.
नहीं है. No electrical appliance.
Cooler allowed नहीं है.
No.
Hair straightener?
No.
Officially no. Okay,
Officially
fine.
no.
So no, 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 no. इतने सारे no. फिर बच्चा हॉस्टल में क्यों आए मैम?
Safety? Your transportation? You're saving on your transportation
मैम
time?
वो तो बच्चे के पेरेंट्स पैसे बचा रहे हैं.
हाँ,
You know,
बच्चे के
I have seen
parents-
students going into that shock कि मैं यहाँ कैसे रहूँगा?
I tell you, parents.
एक ये रॉट आयरन का बेड
No, no, no.
जिसका मैट्रेस ही मुझे खुद लेके आना है.
Yeah.
But you can get a good mattress.
Yes, yes, you
Okay.
can get a good
And I have seen at times people have that color coordinated bed sheet also.
color coordinated bed sheet. They do the decorations in the room, for which we tell them, see, don't put anything on the walls, or else your caution money is going to get deducted. Do it in a way that nothing is chipping off from the walls. So they make their girls, at least I will say, they decorate their rooms also.
Boys, are you listening?
So,
Okay. So
and I have seen boys doing cleaning of their room in the midnight. We have the night hour also.
okay.
And somewhere around 1 a.m., the beds noises are coming. And next day you ask them, what were you doing in your hostel? Ma'am, we were cleaning because morning we don't have time.
Okay.
So they are taking that
बॉयज
responsibility.
हॉस्टल को तो मैम मैंने भी देखा है बिकॉज आई हैपन टू स्टे इन कैंपस कि वो पूरा जिम का इक्विपमेंट निकल रहा है
Yes,
और
ma'am.
सफाई हो रही है.
Yes, yes. They have their weekly plans of cleaning their lounge.
Right.
And even in the girls' hostel, we have the duties on rotation for the mess, for the lounge, for, for the keeping check of the discipline.
मैम एज अ स्टूडेंट ना मुझे चक्कर आ रहे हैं. इतने सारे रूल मैं बाहर नहीं जा सकती. I have to share my room. And
These
then
rooms are
probably
fun,
I have to plan even my, nature's call because again you have limited area.
No, we have four floors. Go
Four
anywhere.
floors.
You are not restricted
two-
to your floor.
2 washrooms only.
No. With time you get you
मैम
know,
अच्छा अब
adjusted.
थोड़ा सा बिकॉज हॉस्टल है तो इट विल बी अ कैंडिड कॉन्वर्सेशन. तो थोड़ा सा हम बात करते हैं. अभी रिसेंटली वी हैड reunion of a very senior batch who graduated some 50 years back.
Yes, yes.
So if you remember, we were there for the hostel round,
we went.
and one of
One of the alum.
the alumni commented that hostel is just the same as it was 50 years back, and it is pathetic. So your comments there.
So 50 years back, also the intent or the motive would have been to, inculcate life skills among students. Till date, it remains the same. Few things I believe cannot be changed because life skills develop like that only. Coming from these zones of their comfort and coming up and putting up with the people who are coming from different backgrounds, how you are adjusting with them, how you are caring about them, how you are sharing things with them, and this helps you in developing your emotional quotient. So this shapes your overall
Very well
personality.
said, ma'am.
So these hostels are like, you can say, God's blessings, which are there with us so that students can actually plan to their studies from the different cities. There is no limit. We are providing you with the accommodation. Be willing to come over to the city and take the accommodation in the safest zone. Yes, with the challenges, but वो क्या कहते हैं ना मैम, अग्नि पे चल के ही सोना अगर अग्नि पे चले तो तब
तो
के
निखरता है.
तो वो जो निखार आप देखते हैं ना इनके अंदर,
जी.
वो अलग ही चीज होती है.
And for records, I am myself a hostler. I
Yeah.
passed out from IHM Jaipur,
Hmm.
and ma'am has been a hostler.
Yes.
I have also been a hostel warden, और तभी मैं आपसे सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछ पा रही हूँ. And ma'am is also taking care of hostels, so probably we understand what it is being, a hostler ourselves,
Yes.
and how much contribution or transformation you can have when you're living that
A
life.
lot of contribution this hostel life makes, you know.
Yes.
You are totally on your own. You're with your friends. You are sharing in terms of your emotions also.
Right.
Some of the family issues coming up. I have seen girls crying over the shoulder. Next moment, they are laughing. So, are you going to find that support if you are going to put up in the PGs? I don't think so.
Yes.
More so along with the safety factor, which remains the topmost. So
Right.
you have lot many things in the hostel which they are enjoying together. Their evening snacks they're enjoying together.
Yes.
Their meals they're enjoying together. So we try to make a point, look around, nobody's sitting idle or nobody's sitting, you can say, left out.
Yes.
That should not be done. The person should feel, a friendly approach which is existing. So that is the mantra of the
And
hostel.
I would like to add on, I think, when everything is being changed, it is easier to get, the facade change.
Mhm.
Changing the room or probably the colors or adding on few facilities is still easier. But I think the pain you're going through to
Yes.
emerge out a better person will
Yes.
not happen. And probably every student who is joining after their school, it is almost a similar kind of journey which, you have to go through.
Yes.
So over the years, as you were mentioning, ma'am, that journey remains same. So it is a process.
Yes.
And every day you are probably moving towards your goal, and that is your journey.
Yes.
Your parents, your faculty, probably, we are like wall. आप सहारा लेके खड़े तो हो सकते हैं, लेकिन चलने के लिए you will have to leave the wall. You will have to leave your home comfort.
Yes.
You will have to leave things which have been given to you by your parents, which your parents have earned. You
Yes.
need to earn things for yourself, and I
You
think
have to.
hostel plays a real good role.
Really good role, critical role in
Yes.
shaping that particular
I think
thing.
from your understanding what is the human behavior all about, which
Yeah.
you also just mentioned, I think that becomes a journey when you're somebody staying in the hostel.
Even in life, you're making so many adjustments, So here you learn that art of adjustment. See where you go in life.
Yeah.
So hostel is good in that particular respect. You are
Right.
taking care of everything of yours along with the others too.
Right.
So that adjustment quotient also increases.
Right. And ma'am, if I talk about, so in nutshell, like what will be the benefits? फॉर अ स्टूडेंट हमने पेरेंट्स के लिए बहुत बात कर लिया, भाई पैसे बच रहे हैं, आपके बच्चे को सारी सुविधा मिल रही है, बच्चे को सिर्फ पढ़ाई करना है, दैट वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट. And students, because they are still in school, they may not be able to relate with each and everything which we are saying, because we also understood it after passing out, after working in the industry, that how hostel has contributed in making what we are today. But अगर अभी हमने एक स्टूडेंट के लेवल पे जाना है, तो why hostel?
It makes you a team player.
Okay.
I tell you, these hostlers have so much of power, so much of energy.
Power, like?
Power as in, they are like a backup for us for any event. Events which are closing at night.
So वो तो problem है ma'am. It is not power.
They are taking up so many opportunities when they are in the hostel.
Okay.
So many events are going on in the hostel, where in the day scholar we have these things like they have to commute.
Right.
With hostlers, they are not commuting. So nighttime, any winding up is taking place. Who is getting the opportunity? Hostler. Power in that regard.
Right.
So power to instill those skills in you exist among these youth. So the hostlers who are coming up, they are a kind of a storehouse for us in terms of taking up the things, taking up the opportunities, and inculcate the skills of this team player amongst them. You name it, any event, our hostlers are always standing for that. And it is not that we are putting on to them. They are coming up by themselves. They want to be part of every team. And this is what is one of the advantage of being the hostlers. Day scholars have to leave at a specific time, considering the city is also not very safe, we say. So they have to leave by particular time. But they can be there with us little delayed time.
Yes.
And then we have the closing time for the hostel also, which we have to look forward to. But once you are inside, at least you are safe. So you can continue with that process, and more so, you are developing more skills into you. Like when we talk about a hostler, they are going in for their mess duties also. So even those who do not know how to make chapatis, they learn how to make chapatis over here. So it is because of the hostel you are learning those management skills. You know, you are making chapatis, you are serving to the students, you are keeping a watch, and then you are seeing to it that everybody is having food in a good decorum. The mess hall is absolutely clean, you're winding up, and then you are going back. So what is this? This is instilling of the various skills which are required in your life ahead. So that ways, these are the powerhouses.
सो मैम इंस्टीट्यूट के लिए तो चलो बहुत कर लिया, बहुत सारे क्लब्स के मेंबर भी हो गए, एंड वी हैव सीन एक्चुअली हॉस्टलर्स टेकिंग अप दैट चार्ज. और अपने लिए कुछ होता है उनका हॉस्टल में?
अपने लिए they have good amount of friends with them who are going to take care of them. They are, as I said, taking so many opportunities just because of the virtue of being hostler. You are taking so many opportunities, and then this kind of a bond is going to stay for a long period of time. So this family is going to be your lifetime
And
family.
when you cannot be with your families, what happens with this family? For example, abhi jaise festival time
Yes.
होता है.
So we have a lot of events which takes place with them.
Right.
Like we have their in-house freshers party also. They have a lot of theme lunches. So they are planning by themselves, executing by themselves. And not only lunches or dinner they are planning, they're also coming up with a cultural aspect also. So those who are not getting the chance to be on the stage for a formal cultural events, at least they have that fun go thing in the hostel cultural aspect. Lately, we celebrated this Holi. So I found so many students who have never danced dancing on the number, and it was too good to see them,
Yes.
coming out of that their hidden zone, that particular shell they have broken, and they have come up so nicely by after these many months crossing by for their hostel life. Then we had this Dandiya night. What
Right.
not? You ask, ma'am, what not? We are doing everything for them.
Right.
Diwali celebration they did, Holi Dehen they did. So they come up with their own ideas, and we discuss those ideas, and these are the students who are executing everything.
So right from the national festivals to
Yes.
our, I think, more popular festivals.
Yes.
So they get to celebrate
Yes,
each and
Republic
everything.
Day, Independence Day, and the special lunch then that they get.
Yes.
The special breakfast after Republic Day, after Independence Day, and that decoration that they do. So you see how these people are blossoming.
And in fact, with Holi, I have, I would like to share my memories also. I think over the years, if I talk about these 25 or 27 years, I think the best Holi memory I have is probably the one I have, played
in the hostel.
in my hostel,
Yes.
probably hostel days. So that was
What they
actually
don't do, what your friends pull you out so badly, and then you can't say anything to your friends because that is again a memory for you.
Yes. And you can make out after Holi कि कौन सा बच्चा हॉस्टलर है कौन सा नहीं है.
Yes.
वो अलग ही पिंक
अलग
कलर के चमक रहे हैं.
हाँ, ये अलग ही चमक रहे हैं. Right.
So yes, okay, that part is also there. And I think for the events also, I have seen a lot of events. They are being, the idea of doing an event and the management part is also done by students, right from conceiving the idea to planning and execution.
They come
right?
up with their plans. So we discuss with them, and we give our inputs to that, and accordingly they go ahead with it. But the whole idea is they have to execute it. We are taking an overall care or overall look of it, but you are the one who is actually executing it.
Right. And I would like to give an example because I happen to take care of food production. So, like, I was speaking to one of the faculty because the first year is now coming up with their sort of events for the institute. And the faculty was sharing that, students who are not that, participative in the class because they were there in the hostel and, they took charge, especially the South Indian festival you had.
We came across that
And
one.
suddenly that person emerged out to be a leader, and now we can see him participating everywhere. Suddenly you become visible. And at times you also don't realize that, you had a liking for this.
Yes.
It is these opportunities which give you a chance to know yourself
Exactly, ma'am.
better and explore
Right.
more about yourself.
Because you have, in the institute, you have so many students who are a part of specific teams.
Yes.
But as a hostler, you get that advantage that even if you are not part of that team, and if some special festivities or event is coming, you can still go and be part of that team. So you can again bring out your soya thing from inside and see whether you are ready to join that team or not.
Ma'am, a few weeks back, one student, he visited college. Now he's a very senior chef.
Mhm.
So I think after 17 years he came and he was just sharing the memories, which obviously as a faculty I do not remember. So he was like, ma'am, I had recently shifted to the hostel and you were doing carving in the kitchen and बहुत सारे pumpkin उठाने थे कद्दू बड़े वाले. तो मेरे सीनियर से बोला ये नया आया है ये जाए तो मैंने सोचा कि मुझे क्या भूजा उठाने को दे दिया है. But then he came and then he found it to be interesting and probably then we started talking and all that. And that is how at times from faculty you are able to choose your mentors. So अगर वो कद्दू नहीं उठाए होते तो शायद आज after 17 years we wouldn't have been talking and recalling things. And then he was discussing how those conversation we had, which most of them I do not remember. But then he was so specific that आपने ऐसा बोला था ऐसे बोला था. So you feel ki, these conversations, they do change the minds of these young people, who are actually looking for such guidance.
Yes, the time that you spend with them. Sometimes it is like evening when you are taking attendance, you feel like talking to someone. You are able to make out from their face something is there. So, you talk with them, they are ready to share their things with you, which actually brings the connect. So we are not just their faculty. We as warden are basically part-time, you can say. We are faculty. The
Yes,
most
we are
important place for us is the faculty, and then we are taking the care of the hostel. So that special connect which happens, it happens in the sort of kind of evening time that you have, where they can actually come and share their things with us. So for that, they can vouch upon us for sharing their things. Parents are not readily accessible, so they can come discuss their issues with us. So they need time to share these things, and that is how they get the special bonds, and they're able to move on further in their life.
We have also seen that, at times, especially I would say in last 4 or 5 years, it is happening that, which happens like with me also a lot of times. Students, they will approach you that, ma'am, I just want to talk to you.
Yes.
Because over the years, I think this part of getting that human connect is, I think, diminishing. So they just want to talk.
Yes.
What is happening in the family or what is it? And you're there to listen and probably, because without being judged, if somebody can listen to you, I think this is something which we are missing in today's life.
Right.
So that also happens when you're there in the hostel.
Yes,
if not
it
with
happens.
warden, I think you will have your batchmates, your roommates, people who are taking care of you.
Yes, they are taking good care of oneself and the others also. So what I generally say to them, अपना ध्यान मतलब पेरेंट्स से ना कि आप अब हमारी बेटी आपके हवाले. This is what they say. So I say मैं आपको ये बोलूंगी, मैं आपकी बेटी के हवाले, वो अपना ध्यान रखे, मैं सबका ध्यान रख लूंगी. तो एक एक बंदा अपना अपना ध्यान रखो, एक एक बच्चा, मैं तुम सबका ध्यान रख लूंगी. So it is like, it is not you individual, but you have to take the responsibility of everyone. And then only we can come up with that teamwork with our 9 to 5:30 schedule and the other events which also take place. And then the hostel, you have to be acting like a family.
Right, because I think so many responsibilities you have as a warden. Because actually warden should be a full-time job, but however it is not. It is more of a voluntary thing, I would say. So which you're doing very well, ma'am. And in fact, a lot of appreciation for our boys hostel warden also, Mr. Anand Kumar.
Yes.
So he is, I think, a person who could be jolly, the most jolly and the most strict at the same time.
Yes.
So once you're there, you will meet him and you would know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So he is also there. Ma'am, any special message from Anand, sir? Because we could not bring him for the episode today.
Well, Sir says the word that I quoted, that they are the powerhouse. This is actually what Sir said. He said that these hostlers are the powerhouse for us. These are the youth which who is giving us the positive vibes, and it is because of them that we are, sort of living a vibrant sort of life.
Yes.
They bring a lot of colors with their enthusiasm. When they're entering, they want to know everything from us, nearby area, the facilities, the events, kya kya hoga, and everything. So these people are the reason to keep us young.
Yes.
So this is what he
But
says.
facility से एक और चीज मेरे दिमाग में आई जो it could be concern for parents is of do you like what about the doctor or the
Yes.
medical facility? What is it that?
We do have a senior doctor enrolled with our institute.
They are in the institute?
Not in the institute.
Okay.
Ma'am has her clinic nearby.
Okay.
So it's nearby. It's like within 5 kilometers range for us. In case of emergency, she visits our institute also. She has her timing of reaching to the institute on Wednesday. She's there on Wednesday. So any emergency is there, we are just giving a call to ma'am, and the student can go over there and get himself and herself assessed by ma'am. And whatever next step is given by Dr. Meenakshi Rajput, I should also tell the name, Dr. Meenakshi Rajput.
She has been,
So
I think.
she has been really helpful in this entire process. Even if she is like not there in the city, because human has to go here and there also, she is always available on the call.
And she is a very good doctor. In fact, a lot of people like from otherwise also,
Otherwise
I think,
also takes a consultation.
Yes, very
The
senior
families
doctor.
also takes a consultation. And then in case of emergency, we do have good government hospitals nearby our institute. So we always prefer to go to the government hospitals because they give a good intervention. And here, what we need from parents, ma'am, that parents should give us the correct input with respect to their medical issues, the past history, the present illness. If you're not going to share with us correctly, then the intervention is going to be delayed.
Yes.
And more so, the hospital is supposed to do so many diagnoses for the person. So if we are aware about the particular thing, it becomes a little easier for us. So this is what we need from our parents, that when you are filling the forms, fill the correct details. Make sure your number, both the parents' number, the guardian number is correct on the form, because we have also seen issues. Students
Yes.
play with us with this respect. Now, what happens in this? You are putting your safety, in a loophole. We are trying to extend a support to you. You have to extend that support to us. And when it comes to your medical fitness and your history, that has to be correct so that a good intervention can be done. And definitely, local guardian has to be there, reach out for us, and then the parents will also reach
I think so. If you can see the dots connecting, I think the relevance of local guardian, it is not just a formality.
No.
Because local guardian is a person who connects
Yes.
parent and probably the warden.
Yes.
So in times of emergency especially.
Yes.
So for example, we spoke of medical emergency. So अगर कोई एकदम से कुछ आपको problem होता है hostel में, I think the first call goes to the warden. And usually we go and take the student to a government hospital. Although we do have few private ones, but keeping the records, because at private institute there could be other things also. So we are required to take them to a government hospital, and then we inform the local guardian. Till the time local guardian arrives, so somebody from the team would be there with the ward. We will not leave the student alone. And then we hand it over to the local guardian. And by the time parents are there, the local guardian is required to take
Even
care.
at the hospital, they ask for the consent of the parents. So parents need to be the first person to be informed in any kind of emergency. And if it is not the parent who is picking up, then it becomes the local guardian only who has to attend to the call. So that is why there is relevance of the local guardian and parent being there physically at the time of the hostelage.
So, it really takes a lot of effort in finding a right person, especially if you don't have a relative close by. Always choose a local guardian who can stand for your ward. That is very important, at times, like during my tenure of being a warden, what I've seen is at times, हम किसी relative को, the person who is close, when I talk about a relationship, कि भाई ज़्यादा close है, हमने उनको बना दिया, but they might have a traveling job or they
Yes.
might not be aware. So make a person the local guardian who can stand for your ward. If you have a good bond, make them, and at the same time, do not try to fool us, because
Yes.
if you have somebody too young, मतलब हमने काफी बार ऐसा देखा है कि आप अपने other friends को बना लेते हैं,
Yeah.
and then obviously you get to know, because आप जैसे आप मिलते हो आपको पता लग ही
पता
जाता
लग जाता
है.
है.
So it is better you keep your relationships different, because it is for your safety.
For your safety.
It is not to कि we are trying to make fool of the system. No, it is for your safety.
Yes.
And during this hostel life, there could be chances that you really need your local guardian.
Yes.
So that person should be worth it.
Yes.
So this I have also personally seen, ma'am, that there were girls who had these local guardian who were fitting in the criteria. 25 years, they introduced them as their relative. And then we are also very smart, so we check with parents without telling the student.
Yes.
And that is how we get to know.
Yeah.
So you get, because somewhere more than warden, we are a faculty.
Yes.
And I think
And we are parents too. We are able to
yes.
get out. So, ठीक है. Our children are abhi छोटे.
But we get to know.
But then we get to know.
Yes.
You have that sense within you to know.
And we also have this concern is for your safety.
Yeah.
It is not to interfere in your lives. We all understand you're young adults. You can take care of yourself. But जो मैम ने बोला था ना कि आपको वाकई रात को नींद नहीं आती है, so I have also lived like that.
There have been situations.
बच्चा पहुंचा नहीं, बच्चा गया किधर.
Yes, ma'am.
तो आपको वाकई ही बहुत चिंता हो जाती है.
Exactly.
और ऐसा सिटी में कहाँ हो सकता है कि आप नहीं हो और आपके बदले कोई ऐसा है लाइफ में who is equally worried for your child.
Yes.
So if you have somebody who is taking that much of care of your ward, you have to show your responsibility also. So while whether it is signing the hostel rules, please read them properly.
Yes.
Whether it is, the accommodation, understand the value.
Yes.
That if you make everything accessible, everything is reaching out the student without any effort, the person will not grow.
Not good.
You need to get uncomfortable. You need to go through that pain so that you emerge out better.
Yes.
Right? This was the warden in me which was speaking. Otherwise, it should have been from the other side.
Correct.
But yes, I understand, because having lived that life, both sides.
Right.
So we are lucky, I would say, in a way that faculty is also the warden. So somehow you can connect it with the class, with their performance. If somebody is feeling, at times low, at times people have this, आजकल वो mental illness and depression, वो सब चीजें भी होती है. So you get to know कि ये बच्चे को कुछ problem होने वाला है या क्या है, and you try and look for it. And in fact, it's not only with the warden, the other faculty also, right?
That is what, it is not just the warden, I will say. We have seen our faculty coming up and telling, see, I had a word with the student, look into it, what happened to the student. So we have been, really, as a team, you can say, it's not that it's your hostel, you take care. Everybody is taking care. In the evening time also, if they see anything, they drop us a text, they are giving us a call, we have seen this thing there, please see to it, what is there. So that way, everybody is keeping a watchful eye on them, just for the purpose of safety and security of the student. They need to understand.
Although we are concerned for each and every student who is a part of Pusa, but what happens is people who are there in the hostel, somehow you will, you need to, you tend to recognize them better. So even when they are outside, so every faculty goes, "ये hostel है बाहर क्या करना?
Yes.
ये यहाँ पे क्यों है?"
Yes.
So you have people who are keeping that watchful eye, which is really good for you, especially when you are new in the city.
New in the city.
Because it doesn't take much time that, you change your path for the other things. So it is really, really helpful.
Yes.
I think it was a good conversation, and towards the end, probably I was talking much. So now we will come back to you, ma'am.
Okay.
ठीक है, and इस बार वाला जो चीज है, we will go little candid there.
Okay.
So I want you to answer honestly.
Okay.
ठीक है.
Let me see.
Yes. So उस पे हम बात करेंगे. थोड़ा honest होने की कोशिश कीजिएगा, because students should also see, या parents should also see that why we are able to understand both the sides, because we have lived both the sides, right? So are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, ma'am, you have been a hostler,
Yeah.
right? आपने हॉस्टल में रह के
Mhm.
सबसे ज्यादा मस्ती वाली चीज ऐसी क्या की हुई है जहां रूल ब्रेक किया
Oh God.
और पकड़े नहीं गए? पकड़े गए तो फिर तो बात खत्म हो गई.
हाँ पकड़े गए थे बट वार्डन ने कुछ कहा नहीं था मैम बिकॉज यू नो आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू टेक वन टमेटो फ्रॉम माई डाइनिंग हॉल तो उसके लिए पकड़े नहीं गए थे बट हाँ समहाउ मैम को पता चल गया था वार्डन मैम को तो जब मुझको थोड़ी बहुत डांट पिटी तो मैंने उनका कमरा लॉक कर दिया था
Okay.
but here we are living separately you see there with
Guys, don't get ideas.
the warden was within the hostel na here
Okay.
too we are putting up separately so there is no scope I
And-
first do their things then I go to my place
And Sakshi ma'am is one of the very sincere and very serious faculty. सोच उन्होंने हॉस्टल में क्या किया है, वार्डन को लॉक करके आई हैं ये.
हाँ किया है
Okay, good. Now, ma'am, you have been a warden from quite some time now. ऐसा क्या कोई इंसिडेंट्स आप शेयर करोगे विदाउट नेमिंग द नेम्स, विदाउट गिविंग एज द नेम्स, जो बच्चों ने किया जो आपको पता है लेकिन आपने उसको जाने दिया, ओवरलुक किया? ऐसा कोई चीज है जो मस्ती which students thinks you don't know but you know? I'm sure there must be lots you're thinking.
Yeah. Actually, I keep it under the wraps. When the right time comes, then I get into that. So if we keep it in the wrap, they won't be able to judge what I'm on to. So it comes like a surprise for them. Somehow, how did she get to know? So if we keep it under the wraps, it will be good for them.
So I think you are watching them closely.
Yeah, I have such a location of my house. This window, that window, everything is visible. So when I'm moving out, consciously, unconsciously, you are having a look onto them. The way they're sitting, the way they're talking. So I even share my, inputs with them that you were, sitting like this. However, it is personal to you, but we can have a little bit grace over it.
Okay.
So
So
even
probably
that.
trying to mentoring that.
Yes.
Okay. And ma'am, any specific case you would like to share, which we say, dark horses or just, drastic transformation, anything which you would like to share there? A
Of the
person who has
student?
been in the hostel, yes.
Yes. There have been cases like this, and I have seen that girl becoming more responsible, taking up the responsibilities in various events. Now moving with a lot more grace, and both us as well as the parent has been counseling that student, and we are just looking forward to that when she moves ahead, she turns out everything towards her as a positive.
So you have seen
for her
those
successful life.
transformations.
Yes, we have seen that.
मैम अब ना थोड़ा डायरेक्ट पूछेंगे, ठीक है? आप थोड़ा सा घुमा घुमा के बता रही हैं, बट आई विल आस्क इट डायरेक्टली. यू आर अ फैकल्टी, यू आर अ वार्डन, ठीक है? अब वार्डन में बनने में कहीं ना कहीं वो मम्मी वाली फीलिंग तो आ ही जाती है.
हाँ जाती है.
राइट. सो ये जो मम्मी वाली फीलिंग है, क्या आपने हॉस्टल वाले बच्चों को बाकी फैकल्टी की उससे बचाया है कभी?
हाँ थोड़ी बहुत चीजें बताई हैं कि अगर मैम को टाइमली दे दोगे तो मैम ऐसा गुस्सा नहीं करेंगी. अगर मैम तुमको ऐसा बोल
बट
रही
यू
है,
हैव
कोई
टेकन
बात नहीं.
साइड्स, बचाया है किसी बच्चे को?
वैसा वाला, हाँ वैसा वाला केस में
you get to know कि हाँ अभी इसकी बैंड बजने वाली है, and then you try and cover up like the mama in you, takes over.
little bit ma'am, but what I basically do is let them be on their own. Right, but yes, we are there for like a backup. Ki ma'am, let me talk to this person. What is going on into this person? Because I have seen that person as a totally different being. Why is this person behaving like this? So in that case, yes, mentoring has been done, but I let them go their own way. Let them do the things. Then we can actually get into it.
Okay, is there anything about your persona? मतलब ऐसा है कि कुछ जब आप फैकल्टी से वार्डन वाले रोल में जाते हैं तो you change?
I
like
become
your hostels,
more casual.
Your hostels know you in a different way. You become more.
I become more casual with them.
Okay.
I become, majority of times I'm very friendly with them. It is only when they do something, then I just lose my temper. Then I have to tell them that, you cannot break this particular thing. We are not going to take it up.
Okay.
Otherwise, majority of times it is like anyone can come, anyone can talk, you can share whatever you want. And they have been very vocal about the things. So this is very good thing about girls. They are being vocal about their things. They're sharing the things, right? And when somebody is sharing that things, that means now you have given them a particular zone where it is going to be even good for your institute. If they're not sharing, some mischief is going on. If they're sharing with you, coming up, that means we are at a good zone even for our place.
Okay, now एक डिग्री और ऊपर चलते हैं.
Mhm.
Is there anything about the hostel,
Mhm.
अगर आपको पार मिले, what you would like to change about girls' hostel? Which you
Okay.
could change,
Change.
बिल्कुल.
Oh, with the number of girls that we have, increase the lounge
Okay.
space. Then a separate badminton court.
Good.
I'm becoming too demanding. Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Then a complete refurbishing of the A block,
Okay.
right? And the A block is now completely girls'
What is
hostel.
A block?
A block was basically the staff residence, and now it has been completely converted into the girls' hostel
To accommodate
to
the number of
accommodate more
requests.
number of the girls.
Okay.
So
So you have one
refurbishing.
hostel building and then entire residential block which has been converted into hostel. Okay.
And rest everything we have in place.
Right. And you were talking about badminton court. So what all other facilities we have?
We have volleyball court.
Okay.
We have badminton court in the boys' hostel, basically. During the sports day,
Near
girls
to
can-
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
During the sports day, girls can go. Girls can go to volleyball court. They are responsible enough. Then they have the basketball court. Then they do other fun activities also. We have this huge lawn, green lawn with us, where we find them doing chit-chatting. And we have this mall road also, this these flowers and this passage that we have. So we call it as a mall road for us.
Okay.
So the chairs are there. We find them sitting and doing chit chat over there. Their morning planning, their evening planning, their weekends planning, and so they're enjoying in the entire campus. Once you're inside, anywhere you can move around in a specific timing. Once your attendance is done, physical attendance is done, not from the room.
Okay.
Right? Physical attendance is done, then you are inside your hostel. Then you can't move out in the premises.
Okay. Anything if you could change about the mess, because warden वही मम्मी वाली बात आ गई. So what is that thing you can change about the food they are being served or place or whatever?
Yeah, food is, ma'am, I tell you, I've been a hostler too. Kind of food that I have eaten, kind of food that they get.
You're jealous?
Yes, I tell them this. I
Okay.
feel so jealous of you. Our college is giving you, our institute is giving you such good food where you are involved in planning. We were not involved in any of the planning.
Okay.
So they are getting appropriate meals with their breakfast. Lunch is together with the day scholars also. During the weekends, they have their special menus. Then their evening snack, the tea time that they have. And then they have their dinner and whatnot. They are planning with their production
Yeah,
faculty.
they made their own gujiyas and all. Dahi
So,
ballas.
yes, the Holi festival, they were having their own gujiyas. They were having different types of pakoras. They were having that, what you say, that thandai, which was there. So they are having a relished menu with them. So I am happy also for them, and I'm jealous also for them. And many of the things, even now the dishwashing is being done by the dishwashing machine with the help of the staff. There were days when students used to wash. So there have been so many changes, so much of progress that has been happening for them. We have ACs in the dining hall. So during the meal times, they can sit comfortably and have the meal. What do you expect from the hostel then? You're getting everything.
Right.
As much can be given.
थोड़ा सा एक और controversial question पे चलते हैं. If something you could change about boys' hostel, which really annoys you as a girls' hostel warden, what will that be?
The washrooms.
Okay.
Those need to be redone basically.
Okay.
Girls' washrooms were done. Boys' washrooms are in the pipeline. So I believe the washroom areas, because see, we are a very old building. So it's very difficult to maintain
the old legendary kind of a building. So it takes more of effort. किसी चीज को नया चीज को बनाना is बहुत आसान, पुराने के अंदर पूरा करना is a task. Like अभी हमारे कॉलेज के अंदर वॉशरूम्स इतने अच्छे क्या स्पेशल फीलिंग के निकल कर आए हैं with all that huge mirrors and everything. बस वैसा और बॉयज हॉस्टल में हो जाए, that is the thing I feel is going to be good for them.
Right.
So,
And ma'am, now because we are towards almost the end, 5 takeaways or 5 areas which you would like to emphasize on for parents' point of view. Why hostel at IHM Pusa? 5 points.
one, safety.
Hmm.
Second, monetary aspect.
Okay.
Feel privileged that you are getting accommodation in this
Right.
area at such rates. Then your ward becomes a team player. It shapes the overall personality.
Hmm.
The confidence level of the student increases, and the emotional quotient, as I mentioned, that also shows up when they're putting up in the hostel. And there are many things which can be added, but these are some of the things that the parents should feel lucky if they are getting accommodation in the hostel, for the both, for the
Right.
boys as well as for the girls.
And now for the student, any 5 things you would like to tell the students that they should, get mentally prepared before coming, or probably you see, adding it to their persona. The hostel for a student. We talked about the parent. Now, what hostel means for a student?
Okay.
You can talk about the value aspect or anything you would like them to have it in their mind.
So hostel is like a home to you. Hostel is like a place where you can be, in the premises after the in timings and still enjoy with your friends. Hostel is like
Friends overnight.
yeah, friends overnight, but
Yes.
in a restricted way because we have night hours also with us.
Okay.
Then a hostel is a place where you can, if you have forgot something in your dress, you have so many people to give you that component of the dress. 84 people having that dress component, so you can vouch on anyone. So a lot of sharing is there. Then hostel is, you can say, a place where you have a lot of shoulders for you
To cry on.
and also
After
when you
every
start-
breakup.
and we see a lot of that too. We see a lot of that. And when you are on the verge of completing your assignment, one night they're trying to finish up their file. So you have not many files available in the hostel. So again, that is a positive thing because you have students who keep their files finished. So you can vouch upon that particular person, get your work done in the night also. Because otherwise you are involved in so many activities, right? Then I will say, what else can we add? Again, there are so many things which can be added for the students. Yes, no transportation. You don't have to worry about transportation. लॉन्ड्री करके मिल रही है भाई, क्या चाहिए, कपड़े धोने पड़ते हैं, प्रेस करने पड़ते हैं, यहाँ आपको करके मिल रहा है. So you just have to follow the timings and you find yourself sailing smoothly in the hostel.
Very well said, that ma'am. And if I could add few points, I would say, I think you get ready for a better placement.
Yes.
Because that grooming happens
Yes.
every holiday when you're going back home, and people are really surprised to see your new version. And we see that by the time a student is there in the first year and then they pass out. With hostlers, that happens really fast.
We have seen them taking.
I think by the end of first year only, I think
placements also with their overall development. We have seen many of the hostlers in that way, and especially when they go for their photographs, passport size photographs. In masses, they are getting their photographs checked. So it is like a collective effort which is coming up in the hostel, which is not possible when you are living, away.
And nowadays, we all realize the power of getting into a strong community. I think hostel is a community in itself,
Yes.
where you have real people and not the real people.
Mm.
People somewhere down the globe, they may resonate with what you think, but when you need somebody to hold your hand, I think your fellow hostler is there.
Yes.
So that powerful community, that resourcefulness, people who you can bank on emotionally also, and people who can be there with you without being judged. And I think that is why in a hostel, you build relationships for life.
Yes.
And this you will realize probably, let's say the episode is forever on YouTube. So some 10, 15 years back, if you are watching it again, you will realize what we are talking about. These relationships will be different.
Totally
So
different.
in short, you get prepared for life.
Yes. You get prepared for life. You have that core group with you. Till date, I have that core group with me also.
Same here.
That core group. Anytime, anything, you are vouching on them.
Yes.
And they are just there for you.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that is what is the speciality of the hostel.
So if you really want to live this life, what we talk about, and you know why IHM Pusa's hostels are different? Because there, I think the kind of responsibility you take, it is very much different from the other hostels. Because you know, वो hospitality भी तो हमारे खून में है.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, adding that difference. The different तड़का वहीं से लग रहा है. So I hope to see you at IHM Pusa very soon and probably roaming around
In the
in the
campus.
hostel, running around to get your outpass done, or probably trying to convince the guard, please let me in, या 5 minute रुक जाओ, or winding up your best duty very fast,
Yes.
enjoying that life, celebrating festivals with people who are as close as your family, and probably they could be members for life. So, welcome to the hostel life at IHM Pusa. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Sakshi ma'am.
ma'am.
I think it was
Thank
a
you,
wonderful
ma'am.
conversation.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Same here.
Oh, we are all going, so it is coming up so naturally.
And when you were speaking, a lot of memories of my hostel. They were just
I
playing,
was into that
playing
zone
around.
in the hostel.
So I also really enjoyed. Thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank
for
you,
being
ma'am.
here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear viewers, and stay tuned for the coming up episodes later on. Thank you for watching this. Namaskar.